We realized in the previous video how Cain walked from the presence of the Lord, estranged from God, the source of all true peace and joy. As evil men do, he labored to forget God, afraid to see his sins that he lacked the will to renounce and overcome, and terrified to meet, even in his mind, the judge who will require every deed done in the body. With his posterity, he undertook to build cities, to make inventions in iron and brass and of musical instruments. He sought to divert his mind from a reflection of his own miserable condition and eternal fate, and to drown the tumults of a guilty conscience with the noise of chisels and axes and hammers and music. Thus do many baffle their convictions by throwing themselves into a hurry of worldly business and music. And the ungodly tend to succeed more in worldly affairs than the Christian. Providence seems to occupy them with worldly successes as the Christian is occupied in spiritual successes. As the patriarchs represented their pilgrimage here by living in tabernacles, the ungodly build cities and kingdoms here. Providence has made it impossible to distinguish by worldly success alone whom really God favors from whom he rejects. Materially, the ungodly succeeds as does the Christian. Nay, rather, they tend to succeed more. In the day of judgment, Satan himself will not be able to make excuse that he was crippled from making a fair case for his ideas and schemes by unfavorable exercise of divine power. Nor will the ungodly say that they were undercut from making favorable decisions by unfavorable providence, that God unfairly used his sovereign power to advantage the saints over the enemies of God. The wise man says, "For all this I considered in my heart, even to declare all this, that the righteous and the wise and their works are in the hand of God. No man knoweth either love or hatred by all that is before them. All things come alike to all. There is one event to the righteous and to the wicked, to the good and to the clean and to the unclean, to him that sacrificeth and to him that sacrificeth not. As is the good, so is the sinner, and he that sweareth as he that feareth an oath." You'll find that in Ecclesiastes 9:1-2, but you can read all the way to verse 3. The text says that the righteous and their works are in God's hands, as his personal business. They should not worry themselves out of his care, though they suffer pain and disappointments. You cannot know whom he has chosen from whom he has rejected by what is before you, that is, by what you can see or hear of their immediate circumstances. Jesus said that you shall know them by their fruit, that which proceeds from their hearts, not their material prosperity. This corrects the popular error of those who suppose that gain is godliness and that wealth, however unscrupulously acquired, is a representation of God's favor. Often it is a representation of his disfavor. Fugitives from the Lord's presence, like Cain, often prosper in the world. Thus did two races emerge from the loins of Adam, the sons of God and the sons of men. One lineage coming from Seth, whom God gave to the first pair in replacement of righteous Abel, for thus they interpreted his birth, and the other lineage coming chiefly from Cain and his offspring. We will here prefer to second the silence of Scripture over the decisions that the other sons and daughters of Adam mentioned in Genesis 5:4 made for God or otherwise against him. As the name suggests, the lineage of Seth were the sons of God. The lineage of Cain were the sons of men. The one class were born of God and the other by flesh and blood. Jesus said, "That which is born of flesh is flesh, and that which is born of spirit is spirit." That is John chapter 3:6. By the laws of heredity, we take up the genetic liabilities from our parents to do wrong. Because of the fall of our first parents, we can all say with the psalmist, "I was shapen in iniquity, and in sin did my mother conceive me." That is Psalm chapter 51:5. So that which is born of mama and baba is flesh, but we have a chance to be born a second time, by the seed promised in Genesis chapter 3:15. Like the woman in Genesis chapter 3:16, our conception can be multiplied. We can be conceived another time. The divine seed in Genesis chapter 3:15, planted into the human soul by a proper exercise of the human free will, can reproduce the properties of the divine soul in the human heart. Thus are we born of God, and thus we become the sons and daughters of God. Beloved, now are we the sons of God. That is 1 John chapter 3 verse 2. We are not just called the sons of God, but we are, if we are born a second time. For that which is born of spirit is spirit. Now the Lord is that spirit, says Paul in 2 Corinthians chapter 3 verse 17. Just like we inherit the elements of the character of our parents by the first birth, we are made partakers of the divine nature as a birthright of the second birth. You'll find that in 2 Peter chapter 1 verse 4. Before the flood, the worshippers of the true God formed themselves into a church, a community, and a distinct race, set apart from the race of Cain. In keeping with the biblical principle to not be unequally yoked with non-believers, these races did not live together, nor did they intermarry. When at some point the sons of God, against the barriers of conscience and providence, began to consult inclination rather than duty in these matters, the Lord was displeased. They chose to cross over these divinely ordained distinctions between believers and unbelievers, and particularly in the matter of intermarriage. Read that in Genesis chapter 6 verse 1 to 3. It is Satan's special policy to bundle the godly together with the ungodly for destruction. In the parable of the sower, Jesus said that at the end of the world, the tares will first be gathered together in bundles to be destroyed. And the Christian is thus given opportunity to perceive the direction of his life and eternal destiny by the association he forms, the bundle he is gathered into. Everyone has to take heed how they are bundled, with the sons and daughters of God or the sons and daughters of men.